Hi, and welcome to today's show of the Higher Purpose Marketing Strategy Live podcast. Welcome. Today, we're going to be discussing how to design a customer experience that makes people rave about you. I am Ashley Conway. I'm the CEO of Be Weird Marketing. We're a company that helps service obsessed CEOs stand out from their competition, attract their best customers, and grow their businesses. I have 20 plus years of experience in the marketing industry, and I am a marketing strategy coach and copywriter. And I work with businesses from solopreneurs all the way to $1 million companies. I am married with two girls, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you today. Like I said, what we are discussing is how to design a rave worthy, a wow customer experience. We're going to talk about today what customer experience actually means. It's not the same as just service. What makes a good customer experience unforgettable? Because that's what we want, right? We don't want something that's our customer just considers nice and then they go on and forget about it. We want something that sticks with them long enough that they spread the word. And then, most importantly, we're going to talk about how to create your customer experience map for your business. So, first, let's jump into what customer service is, or excuse me, customer experience. This is part of the conversation, right? Because customer experience is this overall perception and feeling a customer has about their total buying journey. So, everything from marketing to sales to customer service and everywhere in between. And if you didn't catch last week's show, I'm going to give you just a couple of real life examples to show you what I mean. So, Ritz Carlton, every employee there is authorized to spend up to $2,000 to solve a guest problem or to delight a guest without needing manager approval. Warby Parker, the glasses company that you see a lot. If after their customers try on glasses at home, which is kind of their unique selling proposition, the thing that's really cool about them, Warby Parker will send a personalized email that, references the frames that the customer chose, as well as gives them style advice based on their eyewear choice. How cool is that? And Airbnb, if you're like me, you've had really cool experiences with Airbnb. Some hosts leave personalized welcome baskets with local snacks or handwritten notes or things that they recommend doing in the area. Or sometimes they'll leave recommendations based on what the guest has shared that they like to do or that they're interested in at the time that they book. Such a small thing, right? But it makes such a difference to the guest visiting a new area. Now let's talk about what customer experience is not. Customer experience is not customer service. Two totally different things. Like we said, customer experience is this entire journey that a customer has with your business from their very first contact to after their service is done and what happens, what communication you have with them afterward. While customer service is just a part, it's just one piece of that overall journey. And it's usually focused on solving immediate problems, right? It's a team, it's a department that answers questions, it solves problems for your customers. But customer experience is much broader than that. And so, this is the meat of what we're going to be talking about today, this simple 3-step customer experience map. And I'm going to walk through this process with you so you'll kind of see it in real life and it'll be much more easy to apply to your business. So, step 1, you're going to identify the key touch points for your customers. Basically, every time they hear about you, have any contact from you, those are touch points. Like we said, from marketing to sales to customer experience, all of those things would be touch points. So I just chose 3 for us to walk through for the purpose of this exercise. Let's say we're going to talk about the first time they ever learn about your business, and let's say it's through social media. The second touch point that we're going to look at is the checkout page. Let's say your customer is able to purchase from you online. So we're going to talk about the page that they see before they click buy now. And then the third, we're going to look at a post-service email, an email you send them after their service has been complete. So we're just looking at these 3 touch points for the sake of time, and then we're going to walk through this entire process. But for you, when you're doing this, you would identify all the touch points your customers have, and then just take each one through the process, just one at a time. So let's move to step 2 with these 3 touch points. Step 2, how do we want the customer to feel? So let's look at the first one. It's the first time they learn about you. It's through social media. We want them to stop the scroll, number one, because they feel known and understood. Like, you really want them to feel like this person is reading my mail, so to speak, right? You want them to say they really get me. That's the feeling that you want them to have. So then let's go on to the checkout page, right? Right? The page that you have on your site where they click buy now. So I'm calling that the primary offer, your top offer that you try to sell, the sales page for that. What do we want them to feel when they get to that checkout page? We want them to feel confident about their purchase. We don't want them to be hesitant. We don't want them to be confused. We don't want them to feel, yeah, like I'm just really not sure and have a lot of questions. What we want them to feel is confident and ready to click buy now. Then this post-service email that is sent after all of the work is complete, how do we want them to feel after they have worked with you? We want them to feel valued. We want them to feel equipped to continue on, to know what to do next after they have finished working with you, not to be just kind of confused about that was great and now I'm kind of left on my own stranded and I don't know what to do. All right, so now that we have the feeling nailed down, that will tell us what experience we need to design. And that is step 3. This one will take the most thought behind it. And you will want to involve several team members because it definitely is one of those things that more hands on deck will make this easier. More ideas in the room, more brainstorming will get you to a really great experience quicker. So first, remember that was they're just finding out about us through social media. We want them to feel known and understood. So let's design the experience. We want our posts on social media, our ads, whatever it is, to feel warm. We want them to have all the feels, right? That they really say this business is not just about sales or numbers. They're in it to serve and they get me. So things like customer stories from other customers, you want uplifting music. You want to be really careful with your messaging here because you want to prioritize connecting with them more than you do pushing your service. You obviously want them to know what you have to offer, but don't push your business or your service as much as you just prioritize. I just want to connect with them. And so that's how you come up with, obviously, these experiences don't have to be grand things. And especially on a platform like social media, when you are communicating to many, many people at the same time, it can't be something that's personalized, right? But if the goal is just for them to feel known and understood, then the number one priority is connection. And we're going to do that by telling them about other people like them that we have helped. We're going to use that to connect, to say, we understand what it's like to be in your shoes. And that is a great way to do it. You can also use, it's not going to be quite as effective as if you use, number one, like a customer telling the story. You can also do it through quotes. But yeah, the number one way is going to be to have a customer saying to camera, it can be very rough. Like this is what happened. This is my experience with this business. Okay, let's move to number 2. This is your checkout page, your primary offers, sales page, either way you want to look at it. We want them to feel confident about making the purchase when we get there. We don't want a lot of people going to this page and just being unsure and then, Xing out of the page, right? So if we want them to feel confident, we have to focus on that page on results. These are the results that you will get. You're reminding them, yeah, like these are your problems, but the big focus here on this is what you will see after working with our team. You also, this is huge, you want to address objections. What are the common objections that your customer might have, which you should find out when you do your research. And they will tell you, like, this is why I was hesitant to buy. So you're going to address those and their hesitations probably in some kind of an FAQ. You may want to weave it into your messaging further up the page as well. And this is also a great place, just like the first example, to include social proof, which is a case study, a customer testimonial, a quote. You can have it on video. I would be very strategic about where you place these. Like, I wouldn't place 6 videos there together in a group because nobody's going to watch all of those. So, place one. I mean, maybe you have 2 to 3 videos on your page, but you're placing them, kind of apart from each other, so they're not too overwhelming. You're mixing them in with quotes, with different kinds of social proof to show, that what you have works. And this includes things like data. If you can have data to back up your results in working with a customer, there's an increase, this much percent increase, there's this much percent decrease there, whatever the data is, if there's any data that you can use to back that up, this is a great place to sprinkle it in as well. We just want to take away any of their hesitations. Another way to do this would be if you have a guarantee of any type, to include that on this page. We just want to help them to be confident about what they're doing, to decrease what they perceive the risk is of doing business with you. And this is even more important if you have a high ticket service. You need to do so much on this page to take away any hesitancy that they have and to lower the risk that they're perceiving it to be. And a guarantee is a way to do that. Like, even if you offer coaching, which I know a lot of my service businesses do, it can be a trial period. Even if they're signing up for a 12-month agreement, include a clause that after 3 months, if they've put in the work and they've attended everything, that they can still get out of the agreement, because 12 months is a huge commitment for, some people who still feel that that's a great risk and a great investment. So make it easy for them to say yes, knowing that once they work with you, once they experience your company, they're going to be completely sold. So again, this is an experience that you can create that is still, it's low cost, and it's a good way to do it when you're communicating to a large group of people. You can't do anything personalized yet, right? Until you have one-on-one time with a customer, or have one-on-one personalized information about a customer. So then let's go to that next step, the post-service email. So your work with them is all done, but you want them to feel valued, and you want them to feel like you're not just cutting them off. Like, they can get support if they need it in some way. They can be equipped to know what to do next. So something you can do, depending on the service you provide and how much you charged for it, and just, what kind of service it is, kind of deal. You could do a small gift or a thank you card. A thank you card is really easy, even if you just have a brick and mortar business. Let's say you have a lawn company, that a thank you card is huge. Or a small gift, you can ship that. It doesn't have to be something where you're seeing a person face to face. It doesn't even have to be something that costs shipping. You can send a gift card kind of thing to Amazon, or a Visa gift card, or something where they can pick out what merchant they want to use. That's a really easy thing. And you can determine, is it going to be $5? Is it going to be $25? Depending on the cost of the service, depends on what the cost of this small gift would be. You can also, another thing that you can do, to kind of create this post-service experience, is to make sure that they have clear next steps for what to do now. So if your a coach, make sure that when they're done working with you, there is like a summary for them somewhere that is, it can be in an email, it can be some kind of a guide that you send out, like these are the next steps you can take. Because I can tell you from experience that coaching, consulting, this process can feel like drinking from a fire hydrant, that you have so much information. This is true for events too. You have so much information and you walk away and you're like, what on earth do I do first? Because there's so much. So make sure that they know what's the next right step for me to take. Like, what's a bite-sized piece of this that I can do just to get started and get the wheels turning. Also tell them how they can get additional support if they need it. Maybe they start diving in and they try to get going after the service that you have provided and they're like, "Whoa, I still really need not the amount of support I did probably, but I just need to be able to ask questions, or I need something. I need some kind of support." And obviously, this is not going to be free. This is going to be an add-on offer that you send to them after their service is done to say, if you need a little more support. And maybe you mark it at 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and you reach out to them each time to say, this is what I offer for like ongoing support kind of thing to get you started. Let's say you have that lawn care company. So they're not going to need 30, 60, and 90-day support. But maybe it is like, this is how you maintain this great lawn that we have given you in between now and your next service. Like, these are the things you need to keep in mind to keep it looking pristine, the envy of the neighborhood sort of deal. You can still offer some, here are some next steps. And that's just a great way to kind of go the extra mile. You can also follow up with them in 30, 60, 90, whatever it is. You want to get them on your email list to stay in contact with them. If you have any additional services they could benefit from, you'll want to reach out after a period of time with that. What I think the point that we're trying to get through here is, after they have had some kind of service with you, they become part of your business family. So you don't cut them off. You continue making them feel valued, like you're a part of this. We appreciate your feedback. You could turn them into kind of an insiders group member, that you reach out to them when you're testing new things to have them give you their honest opinion so that you can build new services and products. So there are lots of ways after the service for it not to be over, and you continue developing this relationship with them. And that's super key, because these people are going to end up telling their networks, their friends, their family about your service and get you new customers that you don't even have to work for. Okay. So that is the end of designing your customer experience. I know this is a lot, and it becomes much more in depth once you look at all of your touch points you have with the customer and creating some kind of experience, even if it's like, small, for each step. That is something that's really good to do in a power hour coaching session. It's just 60 minutes. It's a lower cost item. I have 2 spots open next week. And even if you feel really good about your customer experience map, maybe you want to map out, maybe you want to refresh the messaging on your website, or an email sequence, or a sales page, and we would do that together. Or maybe you want to look at, something like your sales funnel. Like, do I have the right amount of offers and the right kind of offers to move people through from just knowing me to making a purchase with me? So there are lots and lots of things that we can do in just 60 minutes, or at least get you started, like, give you the push that you need to know, like I said, what those next steps are that you and your team could take on your own. So if you want to find some examples for things that we could cover in 60 minutes, or you would like to book one of those sessions, go to bit.ly/power hour coaching. And that is all I have for this week. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn, and all the links will be in the show notes. Thanks so much. Have a great week.